In today's video, we will learn how to use APIs in Python. By the end of the video, you will know how to let Python talk to websites, understand what an API is in plain English, ask a website for data, read the response, and handle errors like a pro. And if you are serious about learning real world Python, hit like, subscribe, and comment API if you are coding along. So, first of all, let's talk about what is a third party library. But developers around the world build extra tools you can download. Think of it like your phone has basic apps, but the App Store gives you superpowers. Today's superpower app, Requests. It lets Python visit websites. So, to begin, first of all, try to use the virtual environment which we have learned in the last video, and then enter pip install request. What it will do is it will download and install the request library in your Python, you can say database or whatever you call it, the like library. Okay, so now in my case I have already installed the request library in the last video, so it's saying requirement already satisfied. If you have done so too, it will say the same for you. Okay, so now Python can access the internet. What is an API? API sounds scary, but it's not. It simply means a way for computers to talk to each other. When you open a weather app, it doesn't guess the weather. It asks a weather service, hey, what's the temperature right now? That's that question, that connection, that's an API. You're about to do the same thing. And in case you still don't get it, you can think of API as a server at the restaurant, or we call it waiter. Yeah. So what happens is you give your order to the waiter, and the waiter talks to the chef saying the customer wants the XYZ dish, please prepare it for them. And the chef prepares it and gives to the waiter, and waiter serves to you. So same happens in the computer. The API will be our chef. Our system, which will be the client, will tell the API to get this data, like that data can be XYZ, ABC, and it will go to the server saying, I need XYZ or ABC data. Server will say, here it is, you can take it back. And the API will bring that data back to you. Okay, so now let's start sending our first request. So first of all, we will import requests, and let's just clear it first. Yeah. And then we'll take a variable saying response and request.get. So this is HTTP method. If you don't have any idea about HTTP methods, you can check out our video. Pop-up will be here in top right corner. And I'm using GitHub API. And that's it. And if you don't know it, you can search GitHub API like this. And you can take this one too, but I'm using a simpler one, which is this one, https api.github.com. And if you visit it in browser, it will look like this. Okay. And then we will print response of this. Saying response, okay, I mistyped it. Response dot status underscore code. So what it will do is it will print the status code, which will be 200 if the request will say 200 okay. And if you still don't have any idea about like what I'm talking about this get 200 okay, I would suggest you to check out the HTTP method, which is already uploaded in our channel. I will provide the like link of the video in description too for your easier access. And now if we run it, it will say 200 okay. Okay, so it is trying to, yeah, it just activated the virtual environment, and now it's saying 200. So now what 200 means? It means success, or you can say it worked, the website responded. You just talked to the internet. Now let's try reading the data. Website usually send data back in a format called JSON. Don't worry about the name, just think of it as a big organized dictionary. Now let's look at how we can read data from websites. Websites usually send data back in a format called JSON. Don't worry about the name, just think of it as a big organized dictionary. So for that, we'll create a variable saying data and we'll say response.json and the brackets, and then we'll print data. And we will be commenting this out, and if you run it now, it will show you a lot of things. Current user URL. So for your easier understanding, I'm opening it again in the browser. It is just printing this text in the terminal. So now the question comes, we don't want this much text. It will overwhelm us. What if we want to access specific information? So for that, we can do print data and we can specify the thing we want. For example, I am using this one, current underscore user underscore URL. And if you run it, and I'm gonna clear this up, and if you run it now, it will say this one only. And in this case, you can see it's the same. I'm gonna zoom in for you guys. It's same. Now let's talk about error handling. Here's the thing, the internet isn't perfect. Servers go down, connections fail. Professionals prepare for that. Okay, so for that, I'm just gonna comment the whole code and then import requests and try response equals to will be requests dot get and same as the old one api dot github and response dot raise underscore force status. It's a pre-built function, and then we'll say print response.json and then we'll say accept. We will be expecting some specific things that will be request exceptions and request exceptions, not this one, request exception as e, and then we'll print it like this. If any error comes, it should say something went wrong and then the specified error. Okay, so first let's check our program here. Okay, we called the API here, then we used a built-in function, then we printed the data, and if any error occurs, it will say this. So now if you run it, it will tell you the like data, the same data like this one. But what if I create a on purpose typo? So what it's saying is now something went wrong. HTTP connection pool host max retries exceeded with URL. Okay, so it's working as intended. Our program did the error handling. So now let's talk about common beginner mistakes. First one is hard coding passwords or API keys. In production environment, don't hard code your API keys like this or like the API endpoint, because hackers can use them or steal them. And the second one will be ignoring error messages. So if your API or your Python program or any Python written program or any program you have wrote, second one is ignoring error messages. Third one is forgetting to check status code. Sometimes some developers forget to check status code, and that's where the problem begins. Sending too many requests too fast. If you are sending too many requests using Python to an API or server, it can lead to DOS attack, which is denial of service, and it can create trouble for the server and the other users using that same server or specific service. Respect the internet, it's not just your computer anymore. Your Python program just spoke to the internet. That's a serious upgrade. And this is just the beginning. Next step, building something real with it. If you want that video, like, subscribe, comment, build, and I'll make it. Thank you guys for watching.